Alright, let's see if that fixed it. Welcome back, everybody. The stream should be officially live now and public. I think that was the problem before. So let me make sure that this is working before I do any kind of introduction and talk about this, which it is. So, perfect. Welcome, everybody. If you guys don't know, my name is Brendan. Welcome back to the channel, and if you guys are new here, it is great to have you. Let us start sharing this link so that we can get it out there with everybody. Perfect. Awesome. Cool. We're going to go ahead and give this the announcement in the Discord. I am. And we'll be good to go. Yeah, so it has been a while since we have done a live stream or one of these or anything. I'm going to go ahead and move my chat over here. And we'll move OBS over there and we should be good to go. So I don't want to get too deep into this before we have everyone or anyone in here really. I'm not expecting the live to be huge. There will probably be a larger group of people that watch this over time rather than live right now, just because again I haven't done a live in such a long time. But I think that they have always been the most informative and open form of content creation that I can do. Let's see if we can do this. Go ahead and say something in chat if you guys can see anything, because it should be working, but it's not showing up on my dashboard. All right, there we go. Now it's showing up. All right, cool. So yeah, go ahead and say something in chat if you guys can, if the stream's working properly and we have sound and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and move my mic just a tad bit over, but yeah, so looking to reignite the live streams. I'm sure that you guys have noticed by now that there has been a upscale in content. I've been trying to produce at least 5-6 videos a week, and I'm gonna continue to do that. I've already have tomorrow's video paved out and created. And I want to start adding in some live streams as well, because this is something that we used to do a lot. We used to do a ton of live streams, and again, I think that they were the most informative form of content creation that we did on this channel. And I think it helped out a lot of people, and I want to reignite them and get them going again. Now, before we get too deep into what happened on Bitcoin last night and like where we're at and everything, I just want to give everyone, I guess, a second to join. The way that this is going to work is that I'm going to go ahead and go through Bitcoin and the general health and what I think is happening in the cryptocurrency world community, and most importantly, in my opinion, the technical analysis of the chart. And then I'm going to take your guys' questions, whatever kind of questions that you guys have, and I'll actually take technical analysis requests from you guys, where you guys are able to ask me to look at a chart, my thoughts on the project. Again, nothing I say during this entire live stream is going to be legal, financial, or tax advice in any way, but I am going to be able to go through and give you guys what I think a chart looks like and how the health of the chart and what I think that chart or asset is going to do in the future. So let's go ahead and dive on in as people are joining now. So again, guys, the one thing I was saying is that I'm reigniting live streams along with the like 4 to 5 to 6 videos that I'm doing a week. The first request of the night is going to be XRP. So we'll dive into XRP right after we go over Bitcoin. So let's go over Bitcoin first, and then we'll start taking requests for charts to look at. So without spoiling too much of tomorrow's video, I want to explain the health of Bitcoin right now, because we had a massive, I don't want to say too massive, but we had a rather large dump last night on Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin hit a new high of around $12,200 right up in here, which was, again, very good. It's good to see that Bitcoin is continuing to reach new highs every day, month, week, whatever you want to call this. For a while now, it's been on a daily scale where Bitcoin just every day just higher and higher and higher. One of the most important things that we need to understand is that it was only a matter of time before Bitcoin pulled back where we are at right now. Welcome everybody if you guys are just now tuning in. It's great to have you. We're just going over the general health of Bitcoin without ruining tomorrow's video. But what I think the best way to show you guys and for you guys to understand this chart is to just look at this on like a monthly scale, or even just like zooming out a little bit and just kind of getting the picture of where Bitcoin is at and where it's come from. Because people see the pullback that it had last night being this little bit right over in here without understanding like where we have come from. I might even have to make this even smaller. So they forget about everything that happened over in here. They see this little dump and then they say, that's it, it's over, the bull run's over. We sold off, what was it, a couple percent? I don't even know if it was in double digits of percent. Maybe at the lowest point it was, but they see this and they say, that's it. Obviously everything that we've worked at over all of here means nothing anymore. This little sell-off is enough to say that Bitcoin is dead and we're heading to new lows. This is the beginning of the bear market. And I think it's a little bit hysterical because anyone who really knows how to read a chart or how a trend works would know immediately that we've already seen bigger sell-offs in the past, even this past year, let alone the past several years. So to take a look at this and to say that this is the doom and gloom death of Bitcoin from where we're at in a bull market right now, maybe it is, but to say that with the amount of information that we have available right now is maybe a correct word to say would be ignorant. I don't want to say like the word uninformed or anything, but again, I just don't think there's enough information for people to say that it's guaranteed that Bitcoin is topped out and that this is the end of the bull market from seeing like less than 24 hours of price candle movement. Again, you're just not able to tell a macro swing like that. Again, when we're looking at this from where Bitcoin's come from, we've had how many months and how much uptrend? We bottomed at like 5K and we trend all the way up to 12K and then we fall like 1K. And people say like it's so bad. Like we're still up over over $6,000 on the year. And I think that that's what people again still don't understand, that from the bottom of this year, we're still up over $6,000, and there's people who just are choosing to ignore that and not talk about that and just look at what happened last night. Now let's talk about what happened last night. And again, I'll talk about this more in tomorrow's video. And in order to do that, we can look at this on a 4-hour. I was going to go to the daily. It's a little bit zoomed out, but basically one of the most, actually, yeah, let's go to the daily. It's going to make this look way better. So when we're looking at Bitcoin like this, we see that this is not one, not two, but 3 separate swing touches on Bitcoin form this heavy form of resistance. Now, after we broke through this, former resistance now turns into support. We've talked about this in previous videos. We've talked about this on the channel a million times, where support's at for Bitcoin, where resistance is at for Bitcoin. The reason why I talk about both is because this is the exact reason. Bitcoin came up to our layer of $12,000, came almost perfectly up to it, rejected it, what do you know, and then where does it fall to? Our form of support. And again, we've already tested this, which is why I brought it up on the channel. So we came up, hit our first resistance, came back down, hit our first form of support. And what do? We bounce over $1,000 in the very same day that we fell. So almost like a 40% retracement from the day that we initially fell, which means that there is buying pressure, which is a good sign. Not to say that it is the ultimate bullish sign, but for Bitcoin to already come over here, bounce, and now start printing a green candle the very next day, we're going to have to see what happens on Bitcoin over the next like week or so to really be able to kind of tell this thing. But where we're at right now, again, guys, I think that the fact that this bounced off of this amazing support line and the fact that it is being so technical and so textbook is a good sign for Bitcoin. If it wasn't, I'd be a little bit worried, but for the time being right now and where Bitcoin's at, I don't see anything that's too alarming. One of the things that I want to do on the live stream tonight is draw up a parallel channel being like our resistance, our support, and then I want to get a heart line drawn in here, something along the lines of that, so we can show how significant parallel channels and heart lines really are in technical analysis. So let's go ahead now, and I guess we can like mention the volume. Of course, the volume's down here. Volume still being good. One of the things that I highlight in tomorrow's video is that the volume, there was significantly more volume from the run up over in here and more bullish volume on a daily perspective than there was bearish on the daily perspective. Even though this, again, was a big sell-off, it just, excuse me, it wasn't able to catch up to what the bulls were putting out there. Let's go ahead and read through chat for just a second. Sorry, I slightly neglected you guys. Move my mic down just a little bit. Please do XRP now. We'll do some XRP. By the way, if you guys have requests that you guys want me to look over for coins, just let me know. Please do XRP, DGB. We can do DGB. Ms., welcome. What do I think of Link? We can get into that. H-bar. We can do H-bar. Hey, dude, it's David. Welcome, David. David's a great guy. David's bullish. Jalen, what's up, Jalen? Great to have you. Time for the bulls to rule. Let's go. Awesome. Is that Otter? David Otter? Otter, if that's you, let me know. So let's go ahead and continue this. So what did we say that we're going to do? After BTC, I think someone wanted us to take a look at XRP. I think we can definitely take a look at XRP. I'm going to take a look at XRP to the US dollar because, yeah, I don't know. I like looking at US dollar pairings more than the BTC pairings because when I'm taking, you know, like when you're taking money out, at least for me because I live in America, I'm taking it out to the US dollar. So let's go ahead and do this. So for XRP and where XRP is at right now, we're not going to be able to look at this on Coinbase. We can go Bitfinex. We have a lot of stuff. Let's just wipe this chart. So the thing that I think that XRP really needs to do over here, obviously, yeah, it did like kind of break this. There's actually no like significant resistance. Let's see if we can't draw something up over here. Maybe something more along the lines of like this. But even then, no matter how you kind of want to draw any form of resistance over in here, XRP has broken out. The only thing that I think XRP needs to do that other things have already begun to do, like Ethereum, like other altcoins, is that XRP needed to really break this level. Instead, it saw rejection up here. Again, it looks like that stuff's already getting bought back up. I mean, XRP's still at 29 cents. What did it go up to? It went up to almost 33 cents, which is crazy. So what I think XRP really needs to do, if XRP can break this previous high of like 34.5 cents, then I see a kind of like a gray area. Anywhere in here between 35 and 50 cents where XRP can kind of just go wild into. The only areas in between here and 50 cents for XRP is going to, of course, be like this low area in here and this high area in here. There's going to be like layers of resistance for XRP. But XRP, you can see, is slowly starting to get through them. One of the biggest problems for it is that it has this former resistance like right over in here. This is the kind of the guy that it's dealing with right now. And it's not going to be just like a fine line across. This is going to be like an area of resistance, which is something that I like to teach. You know, resistance isn't only just one single price action. It can be this area, and that's kind of what this is. That's why you saw this being as a general area of support for XRP for so long, over a year. Again, you were just bouncing off this area, bouncing off this area, bouncing off this area. And then once you fell through it, you see the very area that you were bouncing off of is now seeing rejections over in this side. So now we're seeing the rejections towards the downside instead of the bounces going from the upside over in here. So that's what the XRP chart looks like. And I think that if XRP can actually break this cycle and get out of this like mumbo jumbo zone that it's currently in, it can definitely have some room to fly. Now, I'm not a Ripple fanatic. I don't hate it. I don't love it. If there's money to be made, I'm here to make it. So I purchased some when it was like down at like, I don't know what it was, like 21 cents or something like that. I saw that altcoins were getting ready to move. I made a ton of videos on it. And I know XRP was like one of the few cryptocurrency altcoins, main altcoins, that hadn't moved yet. And a lot of them already have. So my first instinct was to go get some XRP because it was really just a matter of time. Now, if XRP decides to actually break through this zone and this mumbo jumbo zone that it's in right now, again, I think that there is no reason why you couldn't see XRP back at 50 cents. Again, there are like little areas of resistance right here. You can see previous top used as support, fell back down, which means that you're going to use it as resistance again. That's at like almost 40 cents, like the 40-ish cents area. But yeah, that's my thoughts on XRP right now. Volume is starting to pick back up again. RSI is at the highest since it's been in January of 2018. Which is a level. Now, that's on a daily perspective, but still, that's something good to see. It has been higher, and we'll have to see where it goes from here. But being at almost at what is it? At an 89, the highest it's ever been is like a 92.5. That's pretty good for XRP. I mean, that's pretty good for anything. For anything to be getting that level of strength on a relative strength index, not too bad. Let's go ahead and make this guy over here. Laszlo, thank you so much for the donation. Can you look at Tezos and KNC? Please and thanks. Yes, we can. We'll do those right away. I appreciate it, man. One thing that you could be looking for is like any kind of form of bearish divergence. I talk about this pretty in depth in tomorrow's video about my views on trying to short a parabolic run or short a bull market. I think it's a lot easier to go with the trend, and instead of trying to catch the top and short the top, wait until there is a form of bearish divergence. Wait until you already have like 1 or 2 or 3 lower swing highs. So then you can kind of get an idea that the macros are switching. If there are no sets of lower swing highs and there's just pure strength in the market and you just continually try to short it, it's not, in my opinion, it's not going to be worth the one time you're right. You're going to be wrong for 10 times for every one time you're right. And yeah, you'll make a lot off of that one time that you are right, but you're going to lose 10 times for being wrong. So you have to definitely be careful. And I think a much easier way to do bull markets or parabolic run-up markets is to reevaluate the dips. See if the dips are still bullish, see if the dips are still significant, and move your way from there. If you have reason to believe that there is bearish divergence, by all means acknowledge it, but don't go out seeking bearish divergence and trying to short it because you think that it's just overextended. If there's nothing that you can see, no great reason right in front of you, don't go out and actively try to be bearish into something that just doesn't have it there. I think too many people get wrecked trying to do that. I've gotten the worst loss I've ever had in crypto was from trying to do that. It was, I don't know what it was, about a similar time, about a year or so ago. But let's go ahead and that's my thoughts on XRP. Let's go ahead and take a look at, what was it? We got Tezos and KNC. Laszlo, do you have a preference to me doing these to the US dollar or to BTC? And I think after this we have Digibyte. Jalen said Binance Coin and SXP. We can do those. Someone said, is Dogecoin dead? USD, got it. Oops. Got it. XTZ to the USD. Nice little run up. I haven't looked at this guy in a while. Someone said, is Dogecoin dead? We'll answer that right after this. I am very opinionated on Dogecoin. So this goes all the way back to the end of 2018. let's see if we can't get some support lines, resistance lines drawn up on this guy. Throw that there for now. Throw this guy here for now. The one thing I want to acknowledge is that there's very clearly resistance where we're at on Tezos right now. I think that we can see that this squeeze towards the downside, or not even a squeeze towards the downside, but this is very clearly resistance. When you see a candle movement like this, where it's 1, 2, 3 retests, and all 3 retests are, again, right in the same area, you can see that it goes consecutively lower after the first, after the second, and now the third time. Each time it tested this area, it was lower and lower and lower. With that being said, you can see that no matter how you draw this, if you even want to get rid of the wicks, you can see that the macro of the Tezos chart is forming and pinching into a symmetrical triangle over here. You have the macro swings both towards the bottom and the top side that are converging to the end of this symmetrical triangle. Now, we haven't had a test to the top side in a while, which I don't like. You could also say that there's another form of resistance right in here, which we're going to label. In this case, it would be more of a rising wedge, which is technically bearish, but again, this thing is in a very nice uptrend, so we'll have to see how that plays out. I would be interested in thinking that it has higher to go. The only thing that really concerns me about this is these 3 little candles over in here. If these weren't there and it was just like 1 or 2 that was like this and then got rejected, I really wouldn't be worried, and I'd be pretty confident that this would continue higher. But the fact that it has these guys are really throwing me for a spin, and I just don't like the way it looks. It has a nice little double bottom over here. But again, the trend is your friend ultimately. Your 50 EMA is still pointing straight upwards, and you're very far from your 200 EMA. The last time you touched that was back in July. Oh no, that wasn't even that long ago. Wait, is that? Oh, so it was like the beginning of July. So about a month ago is the last time you touched your 200 EMA. Bounced really, really well off of it. It looks like you're bouncing off your 50 for the time being. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think you're going to have to wait. Let's see what the indicators and oscillators say. Okay, so here's something that I would acknowledge. The fact that over in here, this is actually a decent sign. You are for, I guess, the first standpoint, you are very neutral right now. You're pretty much sitting at even. You're sitting at like 51 on the RSI on a daily chart. But this is what I saw right away that leads me to believe that this is could very well have another move to the upside, is that you have this ultimate swing low over here on a macro, and you have this higher swing low over here. And what this shows me is that while the bears are in a sense losing momentum because the bulls are gaining momentum. If the bulls are able to rally off higher over in here and show that they are having a higher swing low in strength, and the bears really aren't going, or excuse me, the bears are, I'm twisting my words so bad I'm confusing myself. Basically, you have a higher swing low over here, which is ultimately a good thing. This shows that the bulls are gaining strength over in here, and the bears really aren't getting anything significant. The bears aren't going anywhere. You don't have anything over in here, like this guy didn't come up and come back down, and then you didn't have a lower swing high. And then if you were to do that again, you wouldn't have 3 lower swing highs. This would be like triple bearish divergence. You don't have that on this chart. In fact, all that you have is the opposite of reading through comments. Basically, all that I see over here is bullish divergence from an RSI perspective. So this looks, honestly, I don't think it looks too bad. I don't think that there's anything, and this looks even better. This looks very, very much better. So this is what I meant when I was trying to explain the triple bearish divergence. Here you have the 1, the 2, the 3. This is a very, very bearish sign. But on the opposite side, and you flip this, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, you just have this consistently showing that the bulls are just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, you do popularly reject this zone of just being quote unquote oversold. There's no such thing as actually being oversold. It's just like a term that we use for the RSI being above 70, or excuse me, overbought being above 70 and oversold being lower than 30. But this ultimately, this is a good sign of health over in here. The fact that this is something that I really like, and you're able to see this on both a 4-hour and a daily chart. And on the MACD, there's nothing significant. There's like no, this is what the MACD is saying. Like sometimes there's just nothing there, and that's one of these times where on the MACD there's nothing to show. I think that if you really like Tezos, the one thing that you're going to want to look at as either like an investor or trader, again, nothing I say is legal, financial, or tax advice in any way. But for me personally, the way that I'm looking at this as a trader is that clearly this thing is being squeezed in price, and we can see this converging, and there's not much time left. My belief is that this thing has no longer than a month left in this squeeze, a month and a half at the most. I think you give this 30 days, and within 30 days, Tezos should have made up its mind and should start breaking out either downwards or upwards. Just splashed myself a little bit. But again, the uptrend in Tezos, clearly it's in an uptrend right now. We zoom out and we see that. You can't argue that this thing isn't in an uptrend. It's been an uptrend since 19? So very, very clearly you can see this just going up, consolidating. The EMAs are pointing upwards still, so until it death crosses or something, there's no reason for me to believe that the trend has ultimately reversed. I don't see any sign that the trend has ultimately reversed. You do have volume that is falling off over right in here that I'm noticing. I say falling off. You get like the big spikes and it falls off. The way that it's looking right now looks like you could be getting ready for a squeeze, which would make sense because that's exactly where we're at this month. So we'll see how this breaks out. If it does want to play out like a rising wedge, again, I think that's, although it looks like a rising wedge and you have 2 touch points of support, arguably 3, and then you have like 4 touch points of resistance, I just think it's more unlikely for it to be a rising wedge in such a bullish uptrend. If it was to be a rising wedge and it were to like fall back down, layers of support would be right in here, right around $2.30. And after that, you'd have a pretty strong layer of support at like $1.85. This area over in here, the reason for that being, again, just previous tops now turned into support, previous resistance now turned into support, previous tops that could now be a previous bottom, much like we have seen on Bitcoin. So that is Tezos. Let me read through some comments real fast, and we'll do KNC. KNC to the USD. Is Dogecoin dead? So the coin itself is not dead because it's clearly being traded everywhere. But the project, for all intensive purposes, is kind of dead. I mean, they don't really have much of a team anymore, and they're not making it into any kind of active working product that I acknowledge. From my understanding of Dogecoin, it was made like several years back to be a streamer coin. After them giving up on it trying to be a way to interact with streamers, they kind of just gave up on it, and the founders left, and it became like a meme rallying point for cryptocurrency and continued to move upwards. And now you have like the TikTok community behind it and stuff like that. And people shilling it everywhere. But I just think that they don't have any kind of scalability in their current state because they're not actively working on the project like most cryptocurrencies are. Why do we make lines on high and low rather than just open and close? Because I think so for highs and lows, I think that makes the most sense to me, because if you are going to a spot and getting rejected from it, you need to know why are you getting rejected from this level. And if I think a great example to answer your question here, and I'll do KNC in just a second, I think a great example of that is for Bitcoin. When Bitcoin, and let's go to a daily chart, the reason that I think that highs and lows are very, very important is because when we're looking at the macro of Bitcoin, specifically right over in here, it's important to understand the high and low, because when Bitcoin got rejected in here, the close doesn't matter. The fact is that it got rejected from 10K, fell all the way back down to 4K, bounced off of 4K straight back up and did a 100% retrace from 10K or from 4K back to 10K. The reason that I like doing high and lows, because from high and lows, you're able to get fib retracements and other kind of retracements. And if you ever have a 100% retracement on something that's as big as Bitcoin, that is a sign that there are a lot more buyers than there are sellers. If you have more sellers than there are buyers, you will not have 9 times out of 10, you will not have a 100% retracement bounce. If you retrace 100% of the way back up like a V, that's not a dead cat bounce. A dead cat bounce might be like a 382 or a 43% retracement or something like that. But if you're retracing 100% from high to low, that's what makes it stand out to me, and say that that's why I measure this from high to low, because I want to get a more understanding of why it bounced from high to low instead of open to close. I think it's preference. I know great traders that do just open and close, and other people like to do high and low, and they like to include the wicks of the candles. I don't think that there's like an absolute answer, but for me, it just helps me in my the way I perceive technical analysis. It just helps me out more. J and J said Bitcoin got messed up after that whale dumped. Yeah, it did a little bit. Honestly, everything did. It was very, very fast. Frank said, stop talking trash if you're not a trader. We got a little comment argument right now. Hey, man, what's your opinion on... Oh, wait, I forgot. We got to do... Before I get back to the comments, let's go ahead and do KNC. My bad. KNC to the USD. This is Coinbase. I don't have anything against Coinbase, but there's just like not enough data on the Coinbase chart because it doesn't go far enough back. So KNC went on a rip back in 2018 and the fall. Currently sitting at $1.43. Great bottoming action over in here. I like, I guess, how it's rounding and reviving. Let's see if we can't draw up some support here and see what we can do. Immediately, like, I'd see something like this, or something like along the lines of this. Maybe we can tweak this just like a little bit more, but that's like what I see. This looks like one of those charts where it's going very, very parabolic, so that you're not going to be able to draw like a fine line of like support and resistance, so to say, like we might be able to do on BTC. I think that the most significant thing that I see on this chart is that KNC to the US dollar is bouncing off of previous resistance, now turned into support. The reason that I say that this is support is because look at the size of these candles over here. This is coming down, touching this area, and immediately getting bought back up. And I think it's very, very visible because you don't have, and this is one of those areas where, Jalen, I would say candle closes, open and closes, are very, very important. The fact that no candles were able to close below this range over here, or even in this range, is very significant. Because it means that they're getting bought back up so that the candle body closes can continue to be high. Basically, long story short, complicated things made simple. That's a bullish thing to see. If things are getting bought back up from this range, there's the bulls here, former support or former resistance now turned into support, and I see this as a bullish thing for KNC. Clearly, right now it's taking a little bit of a dip. more so than other things. This guy's been taking a dip for most of July, but it looks like, contrary to Bitcoin and some other ones, this thing had been running more volatile for a longer period of time before July. So now that July came around and other things were rallying, it looks like, it really wasn't rallying in July. It doesn't look like it is paired to a lot of the other cryptocurrencies, at least mainstream ones, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, EOS, whatever it may be. It doesn't look like it is necessarily paired to those guys. It kind of looks like it's doing its own thing, which personally I think is a good thing. I think more things need to be depaired from Bitcoin, and instead of just always following its price action. I like that it's holding the 50 EMA. That's one thing that I can acknowledge over in here. Right in here, bounced off the 50, bounced off the 50. Looks like it wants to hold the 50. You are nowhere near a death cross, which would mean that this yellow line would have to cross this purple line. You're nowhere near that. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's wanting to start bottoming out. I think that if anything, this is your first level of support right in here, which it looks like it's holding for the time being. If not, your next one's going to be right in here. This is going to be significant because, I mean, it's just like the name of the game. Former support turned into resistance. Right here you have support, support, support. What do? We fall through. We come back up to retest it. And then we reject it. We reject it some more. And then we break through. So now what do? Well, now we come back down and we use it as support again. Should we get here. So I think that is, and conveniently, this would be where the 200 EMA is on top of that. So this would really make sense. If it doesn't hold this one's like a little support. This is like your secondary support. I guess it's primary because you're at it right now. But if you were to fold anywhere, your real strong support that I think that KNC would hold would be like right around here down at like 90 cents. The 90 cents area, just below 90 cents even. So like maybe like 92 to like 85 cents I think would be like a super strong support between the EMA and just how much is built up over there. Yeah, I mean, it looks like should be due for a bounce relatively soon. I mean, it is bouncing, but also, this is something really good. If you like KNC, I like to see this. MACD is rounding. The MACD is a lagging indicator, so this isn't live. The MACD is always, again, it's lagging. You have to be like proactive with this guy. If you're looking at this right here, you have to expect that it's realistically like over in here or something like that. But what you can see is that this bearish divergence, the bearish volume right now is dissipating. It's starting to fall off for the time being, and that's another good side to like coincide with everything else. And that's KNC. All right, what else do we have? Let's go through some comments. Can I have a look at... Wait, where am I? Tezos has momentum. Their staking abilities are being utilized very well. Yeah, I think Tezos is like a pretty good project. Can you please look at XRP? What is your opinion? I just did XRP. It was the second one we did. We did Bitcoin and then we did XRP, but we can go... Wait, did we? No, did we do XRP? Yeah, we did. We definitely did. Greg said the Fed is a legal counterfeiter. Cryptos and metals will soar. I think they already are. I mean, like, cryptos and metals are flying right now. It's crazy. It's awesome. He just did look back. Yeah, Laszlo's got me. Thank you. XRP to BTC. We can do that. Well, yeah, big community, but no development. Even the creator gave up on it. Yeah, unfortunately, for Dogecoin. We're talking about Dogecoin right there. I don't know why, but I keep envisioning an alien walking up to you from behind, picking up your chair, and carrying me away. Anyone else think that? I can say that's the first time I've ever gotten that comment. I mean, if it's 2020, man, anything can happen. Poker Thread said... Hit the likes. Yeah, thank you, Poker. Yeah, hit the like if you guys haven't hit the like already. Did I already do Ethereum? No, I haven't. We'll do Ethereum right now. All right, let's do Ethereum. Ethereum to the US dollar, personally one of my favorite coins to analyze right now. Get some water, make sure I'm staying hydrated. Yeah, Ethereum. Yeah, let's talk about Ethereum. Ethereum is one of the... man, this thing was beautiful from a technical analysis standpoint. And again, I think that this was very obvious. We made 1 million videos on this in the past month. I almost feel bad about how many videos I made about this, but no matter how many times I put out a video, there's always going to be people that are, just never going to see the bullishness in anything. So with Ethereum being where it's at, Ethereum has room to run. I mean, it really does, and that's kind of just been the name of the game. And with Ethereum, not even just Ethereum, altcoins have so much room to run here. Bitcoin dominance is still high, and we'll look at the altcoin chart in just a second. But Ethereum has one final level of resistance, and after that, I mean, I could see it doubling. Like, I could literally see it moving another 100%. Now, I'm not promising or guaranteeing that it will, but yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about this. Are they having you go back in person to learning university? No. So I'm not at a university anymore, actually. I'm fully graduated now. I am done with university, and I'm grad. I'm done with school, and I really don't have any desire to go back for anything like a master's or a doctorate. At least not anytime soon. So on Ethereum, of course, we have this little box right in here. And again, I see this as the last bit for resistance. If Ethereum breaks here, it's even more so like just like right in here. You have this guy, and you can see that this has had it before. You saw that you had support, support, fell through it, resistance, and then support, and then fell back through. And then you came up over here, used it as resistance. This general area, like right over in here, this is like the looking glass. If this breaks on Ethereum, I just don't really see what's holding this back from going up to $800. Did I say 800K in the past? I didn't mean to say that. If I said that, it was a total mistake. I didn't mean to say Ethereum to 800K. This would make sense because we have this trend line that we have over in here, support and support again, and then it broke, saw the rejection, and kept going. And there's also, again, once you break this level over in here, I just don't think that there is anything that is blatantly significant, in my opinion, that Ethereum can't break through over in here. I mean, if it will have reversed the trend, broken through everything down here, broken through the previous bottom and support and resistances over in here, I just think that it will be, anything that's in here will just be insignificant for it. Like, it will have broken through things 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times as hard. And I just don't think that anything in here is going to be enough to stop Ethereum, especially if nothing in here was. So Ethereum's at its final form of resistance. It's at its final boss, the final stage. If it breaks this guy, I think Ethereum will just continue to soar. And I think that I think eventually you're going to see an $800 Ethereum again. And ultimately, I just think it's a matter of time, especially with all like the hype coming around Ethereum 2 and DeFi coins are running again. There is just so much behind the project and how much they are being utilized around the world, and especially in the cryptocurrency community, just even apart from the chart. Their volume right now is great. It's doing really good. Highest point on the daily RSI since July of 2017. I mean, incredible. I would be worried that maybe this is showing signs that it could possibly be losing a little bit of bullishness, but like again, it's a lagging indicator, and I don't think there's enough information to even see anything. Not yet. I mean, yeah, especially when you have something like this. This looks like whatever kind of bearishness that we have right now, it looks like it is starting to dissipate, in my opinion. What do we have? Yeah, I mean, there's not even a lower swing high over here. It's a higher swing high on the 4-hour RSI. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's room for it to go down, but, I mean, we'll see. Ethereum, I think, it ultimately looks bullish. Trend is your friend here again as well. I am very bullish on Ethereum. The alliance and coins created out of it makes it king of alts. It is most definitely, I agree, it's the king of the alts. And this whole DeFi movement using Ethereum as collateral makes it so undervalued and underappreciated. Yeah, I completely agree. DeFi coins are awesome. I wish that they would have been a thing sooner, or more of a thing sooner. I'm glad that they're finally around. I kind of wish that I would have noticed them sooner and that I could have gotten on the trend. But yes, let's pump Ethereum, people. Let's break 400 USD. Is DeFi the next bubble? So that's a complicated question. I think that DeFi is great. I love what they do. I love the idea of decentralized finance and how they are doing it. However, they are exploding right now. It's hard to say if it's the next bubble. I think to a degree, yes, because there's only so many DeFi coins that are going to be able to come out of this, right? Like now the new thing is create a DeFi coin, launch a DeFi coin. They're just popping up everywhere. I mean, there's so many that I've never even heard of. I mean, like, yeah, like let's actually go over in here and let's look at some of them. They have a whole DeFi section on Coin Market Cap now. I mean, look at them all. There's 60 listed DeFi coins on CoinMarketCap. I mean, and I think that number is just going to keep growing. But how many, in a real-world application, how many decentralized finance coins is too much? How many do we actually need? I don't know. So to a degree, I think it is a bubble, but I also think that the industry, for a very good reason, is becoming popular. I think that they do great. They have great use cases and works. I like their products. I like everything about it. But I just think at the end of the day, there's only so many that can succeed, and there's going to be some that can't. And that's where you're going to have the bubbles and the ones that can't keep up and can't adapt and survive. So for Ethereum, I mean, geez, this thing really got bought back up after last night. Like, look at this. I mean, the wick is huge, and it's already heading back upwards. If that's, again, I just think that's beautiful. Anywhere that Ethereum could really retest for me would be 290, right over in here, previous top. Other than that, I really don't see it heading any lower than 230. I think 250 is your next support after that guy. But yeah, this thing has layers of support on the way down. Just has absolutely layered support on the way down. Yeah, you might have like a little bit of a run-in up in like between like where we're at now and like 300. You might not have like as much as you would ideally want, but beyond that, I mean, there's just layers and layers of support. Even if Ethereum came back down, I mean, like what if we were to like ramp something up like this, like maybe it comes back down to like 125 again or like 130 again, and then has another higher swing low, I think it'd still be bullish. But realistically, I mean, it just looks like it's about to go on a big fat rip. Look at Ample. We can take a look at Ample. What's your opinion on the effects of Ethereum 2.0 launch? I think it's going to be a good thing for Ethereum. I think it is being weighed into the price. And I'm sure when it launches or it gets confirmed, the more news that comes out about it and the closer that it gets, I think it's, again, just going to continue to drive the price of Ethereum along with the technicals. I mean, look at the technicals chart here. The technicals look great. The fundamentals look great. And when the technical and the fundamentals look great, I like to put money into it, which is what I've done over the course of like the last month. It's just I didn't own any Ethereum until like a month or two ago. And then I looked at the fundamentals and I looked at the technicals and I was like, I need to get some Ethereum before I regret it, before I regret not getting it. DeFi might help launch the beginning stages of the bull run. I think that they have definitely contributed. Not that they're like the sole reason, but they made a big contribution. What are we doing next, Amp? Oh, excuse me. That's not going to work. All right, guys. We have some professional technical analysis in here. From my expert opinion, I can say that we have moved. All right. This one we might have to do to BTC. Oh my gosh, what happened here? Is this accurate? Is this chart accurate? Jeez. So this is what the yearly chart looks like. So what I would be looking at is, I mean, there's not too much to look at here, but here you have your swing low on the RSI, higher swing low. Maybe look for another one, like somewhere like around like this area from the way that it's been behaving in the past. I don't know anything about the project, so I'm going to be very unbiased here and very ruthless. Bearish momentum is falling off. It looks like it has another lower swing high. It looks like it's pretty extended towards the downside. Volume has started to fall off, which signifies to me that the price is squeezing. It's technically at support of where it's at right now because of this guy and this guy. It's seeing some buying volume. It's pretty far from the 200 EMA. I wouldn't label this as a bullish chart. I wouldn't, like, again, like, this definitely isn't a bullish chart. Like, Ethereum's a bullish chart. Bitcoin, you could say, is a bullish chart. This, like, it's like sideways, parabolic. It pumped, then dumped, and it pumped again, and then it dumped again. I don't know. It's kind of in limbo zone. If you really believe in the project long term, then you could argue that this is the best time to buy, potentially. But again, I know nothing about the project, and I don't know their fundamentals. This is a little bit scary as a chart, but again, if I believed in this project long term, I would view this as a good buy. But I know nothing about it. The indicators and oscillators look pretty decent. It looks like it's kind of like heading-ish towards a death cross. Your EMAs are both pointing like slightly downwards right now. Again, that scares me just a little bit, but the indicators and oscillators look good for the most part. The candle chart is what scares me. So for crypto TA, how much history do you need to make formations? What do you mean, like, how much history? Doesn't that coin level itself out every couple of days? The tokenomics are weird. I have no idea. BNB to the USD, let's do it. Binance coin, coming up. All right. So the thing about Binance Coin that you have to understand from a fundamental perspective is that Binance Coin, there's now multiple, which in my opinion devalues the price of the overall Binance Coin. The fact that you now have like Binance Coin, Binance USD, stuff like that, I don't like that idea. And because now you have what could have been all of Binance USD's market cap could have been part of BNB's market cap. However, Now you have it split. So people have 75% of their BNB earnings in BNB, and then they have 25% of what would have been in their BNB earnings in BNB USD. So now you have a price almost like torn between two different coins that are extremely, extremely similar because they're from the same exchange. But now it's split. The chart itself, it really needs to break this swing high. If it doesn't, I would be a little bit more nervous, but it did just golden cross on the daily chart, which is a very, very good thing. It's bouncing very well off of its EMAs, another great sign. Had a nice uptrend in buying volume over in here, which again is another sign that I like. Broke this little area of resistance, nothing significant, but it broke it. And I think that if it were to break this guy over in here around $26, I would be led to believe that this would be a lot more bullish for BNB. Also, one of the things I really like about this guy is the way that its support works over in here. This looks pretty good, I will say. You know, for the most part, it's not perfect, but, you know, you came down here, bounced off of it, bounced off of it, bounced off of it. I like the way that that looks. I don't know if there's anything like from a resistance standpoint. Like, yeah, there's nothing that like we can even draw up in here. Maybe you can do that. And that's like what I would be looking at. Other than that, on the daily, I definitely see some double bearish divergence. And let's see what else we see. Oh, well, that's controversial. So over here, I see triple bullish divergence on the 4 hour. And I really like the way that looks. Although this does leave like a big room and gap for this to have like some downpour at some point. Really nice support line over in here though for BNB. I think that BNB at its... So long as BNB holds this, I mean, I think it's in a pretty good spot. Bounced very, very well off of support. Support next time being probably around 1930 in USD. Yeah, I mean, it's still in an uptrend for the most time. I think it's just like everything else. It's still in an uptrend. Really needs to kind of prove over the next month or so that it wants to continue that. And if it can, like, validate that, then I would be, like, increasingly more bullish. There's some things that you'll see tonight that I'm just, like, very, very bullish in and believe in. Not because of fundamentals, but because of the chart. Like the Ethereum chart. That thing just looks so phenomenal. This is a chart that looks good, but not to the level of like Ethereum. Ultimately, I think it's going to follow Ethereum. I think most altcoins will, but how long have we been? How long in are we? We're about an hour. How much history do you need to make formations like years worth or 6 months or more? Jalen, I think that the honest answer for that is that there's no set amount of time. I think a lot of it comes with experience and how much time you put in. The guy who learns through experience and puts in a couple hours a day is going to be, I think, the guy who gets the most out of this. For me, the way that I comprehend technical analysis is that I see a formation like this, like maybe like this, like just looking at this. I could have said, I've seen this on a 4-hour BTC chart back in December of 2018. And then I also remember seeing this on the XRP chart of July of 2019. And then I remember seeing this on the Ethereum chart of January of 2020, and it's been almost this exact same formation. And I remember that in this scenario, it reacted to the upside. And in the other scenario, it reacted to the upside. And in the other scenario, it came back down, tested support, but ultimately still rallied to the upside. So I can say, based upon all of the times that I've seen something just like this in my head, just out of memorization, I know that when I see a candle formation like this, it is generally a bullish thing to see. That's kind of the way that my brain operates when I look at technical analysis. I compare it to all the times that I've seen it in the past, and if it's broken to the upside or the downside, and then just like general fundamentals of technicals. That's super confusing, but what I mean by that is it a bull flag? Is it a bear flag? How many times does bull flags in the past tend to actually play out? Are bull flags actually reliable? If so, how much of the time are they reliable? 80% of the time? Great. If not, if bull flags are only reliable 20% of the time, then it's like, I think that, again, it's experience more than anything, and time will tell. You need to actively be on the chart, and actually just trading helps you. Watching people talk about it helps you. You have to mold it into your own style, because the one absolute thing that I learned about trading that kicked me in the butt for so long is that you can't see someone, or a teacher or a friend or a consultant or someone on YouTube like me. You can't see me and copy my style and just copy paste it. You're going to have to adapt it into your own. Trading, you cannot trade, in my opinion, the exact way that someone else trades. Everyone's brains are operated differently, and this isn't something that is just finite or set in stone. You're going to have to adjust this to your own style, and that's just the way that trading goes. So you can use a lot of stuff from maybe my style, or someone that you read about, or someone that you watch, or someone that you're getting lessons with, but you're going to have to mold that to fit how your brain operates. And that's something that I feel like no one ever talks about in trading. It's just follow my instructions and you're guaranteed for success because I'm a successful trader, and you just have to do what I do and learn what I learned. And realistically, that's not how it works in trading. There are decent strategies to follow, and there are great strategies, but if you want to be a true independent trader, you have to adapt trading strategies to how your brain works. For some people, that's doing just day trading. For other people, that's doing just swing trading. For other people, they like shares. Other people like options. You have to find out what your strengths and weaknesses are, and I think that the only way to do that is by actual experience and from learning people. So that would be my rant about trading, is that paper trade for a year. I didn't get comfortable in my TA until a year and a half in, at least. And I spent a lot of time into it. So, I lost a lot. I made a lot. There were months where I never lost a single trade, and there was some months where I had a 40-30% win rate. I mean, you just have to, but what you need to see is the reliability of, okay, I was 40% this month, I was 30% this month, and then a year from then, you're all right, I'm at a 60-70% win rate. And then a year from then, you're all right, I'm sitting at an 80-85% win rate. And then after a year from then, you're all right, I just went 3 months without losing a trade. And then you're eventually you're going to lose one, but again, there's anybody that says that they have it all figured out, that there's some secret formula. I think it's so stupid. There's things that help, but trading and reacting to any scenario that gets thrown at you and saying that there's a one size fix all fix it, plastic seal or whatever it's called. Yeah, I don't know. I just 88 to the USD. BNB needed to make stable coin because BNB is still volatile. Swipe governance is coming. What is swipe governance? Make sure to buy swipe $$SXP before airdrop. I've never heard of that, and maybe there's a reason. Or maybe I'm just detached. Oh my gosh, wait, wow. Cardano. Why have I not seen this? I mean, it's still got a ways to go, but holy moly. Let's trash this chart. So, What do we got? So first things first, let's change this to a 3-day. So what I see is that, again, you have your support, turn into resistance, to resistance, came back down, and, excuse me, you're using it as support again. And you're going to be able to see this better on a daily, but basically, yeah. You have resistance and support. You have this area of affection. And I sold my trunk. Wait, what did that say? I sold my truck and all my video games for Cardano at 3.4 cents. Well, I'm sure you're happy you did that. So yeah, with Cardano, the way that I look at this, it looks pretty healthy. I like the way that it comes up, consolidates, comes up, consolidates, comes up, little consolidation, keeps going, consolidates, comes up, retest previous consolidation. To me, so long as this holds, I mean, it looks like it's ready to go. It's kind of in the same boat that Ethereum's in, where, you know, like if it gets past this, like Cardano's gonna fly. Like realistically, like again, if it's gotten through everything that it's gotten through, like what over in here, like right? Like this is just the way I look at it. Like yeah, you have like a little bit here, maybe a little bit here, maybe a tad bit there, but like realistically, like you're looking at this gap over in here. Let's get rid of this. There just isn't much. Like once you break this previous high of like 19, almost 20 cents, once it gets over 20 cents, like you're gonna go from like 20 cents to 23 or 24 cents, then probably up to like 25 cents, then you could go to like 40 cents. I mean, obviously a ton of potential, and they're launching a whole bunch of new stuff, but I mean, yeah, it's kind of in the same scenario. It has to do something now, and it has to continue at the spot that it's at. It has to break this level. But, like, if it can, dude, I mean, jeez. SXP is the swipe coin that Binance just acquired. It's a credit card system being newly implemented. So, like, what's that other coin that did that? There was a couple of them. Pundi X, and there was one other one that tried doing that. I think Pundi got delisted, though. They definitely got delisted. What happened to them, actually? I owned a ton of that. And I sold it all. I'm glad I sold it. Jeez. Is this the chart? Jeez. Well, you hate to see it. Yeah, jeez. Whew. I sold all mine too. It's 12% API for staking with Swipe, right? Ethereum price prediction. I just made a couple of videos on that, and I already talked about it in the live stream. Pabitra, I think that's how you say your name. Yeah, I already did it, but basically, long story short for Ethereum is it's probably one of the most bullish assets in all of cryptocurrency right now, in my opinion. What I was saying that, in my opinion, I think Ethereum could get to $800 again, which is over 100% from where it's at right now. Time will tell. It's going to have to move fast. If it wants to get there by the end of 2020, I'm saying like by the end of 2021, I think Ethereum can be at $800. So like a little over a year. But that's the way I view it. Maybe even higher. Probably even higher. But I mean, I'm trying to be realistic. I think realistically, I'm going to see an $800 Ethereum again, and easily in the next couple of years. That's just, my opinion. But yeah, go back. I talked about it earlier in the live stream, and I've also made videos about it on the channel. If you want the most up-to-date one, just, go back into the live stream a little bit. Binance bought the Swipe recently. It is the company Geez, sorry. I need some water. It's the company that's responsible for Binance debit card. Oh, wow. And you can spend your cryptocurrency directly on the card. Fantastic. I mean, yeah, it sounds good. I need to look into it, but sounds good. We'll see. What is it called? What's the ticker? SXP. Wow. Jeez. What was this at? 60 cents. It's now $1.76. I mean, yeah, there's just no TA for me to do over here. Here's a little more. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Big run up. Resistance, now support. There's just not enough of a history for me. I think fundamentally it's really cool that Binance is like adopting it and bringing it on and everything. But I don't know. I mean, it looks very parabolic. And anything that's ran almost 300... I don't want to put my money into something that just ran 300% in crypto that I've never heard of. I'm sure it's great, but I don't know. I feel like that's just like a problem waiting to happen. If there's anything that's unlucky that's going to happen, it's going to be me putting in my money into something that's up over 300% and then it coming back down. Right? Eventually, Ethereum will hit thousands. $800 to $1,000 seems possible by the end of the year. Yeah, Jalen, I completely agree. I think long term for Ethereum looks so bullish. It really does. And anything that's even remotely like Ethereum, I think EOS is in the same boat. I think EOS is an undervalued cryptocurrency asset right now because, here's why. And I know people are going to get really mad that I say that. But I think EOS, let's go to the EOS chart. EOS does what Ethereum does better than Ethereum. However, we all know that just because you can be a cryptocurrency and you can have a faster transaction, you can do it for cheaper, you can hold more memory, you can hold more people, that doesn't make it a better project. Ethereum has a ton of people on it. It has a ton of cryptocurrencies on it, like smart contracts, platforms. It has everything. It's doing it all. Even though EOS can outperform Ethereum with numbers and technically, the use cases right now are favoring Ethereum, right? So just because it can do it the best doesn't mean it is the best. But I think that since EOS can do the same job that Ethereum can, and with the potential to do it better numerically, that makes me think that it's undervalued. Because if everyone's so bullish on Ethereum for what it can do, then why can't something that is very, very mainstream, still a ton of people on it, still very mainstream, why can't it do half of what Ethereum's doing right now, right? I'm not saying it's going to perform to the same level of Ethereum price-wise, but why can't it do the same? And of course, you have a ton of factors like circulating supply, maximum supply, everything like that to fundamentally like put into this. But I think that since EOS is like something that has numerically can outperform Ethereum, I think it can at least be half of what Ethereum's market cap is going into the future. Maybe even just a quarter of what it is, which is still big things. So I think right now, for that sole reason of if everyone's so excited that Ethereum, because of fundamentals, I think that, again, for those exact same reasons, we should be looking at EOS, and being like, well, for the exact same reasons, this should be an asset that should go up. So I see EOS as a ticking time bomb. Yeah. That's we're eyeballing it right now. That is self-explanatory, what I just drew. Probably going to go buy some more. Who knows? I mean, who knows? Yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but look at this. I mean, I just feel like this looks like the Ethereum chart before it broke out. And I mean, who knows? Maybe the project just dies after this. Maybe that's what this is. But the way that I see this is that this guy is getting ready to break out over here. And it is a risky. I think it definitely is a little risky. But if this closes on top of what this is, I mean, I don't see any reason that Ethereum or that EOS can't jettison back to like $4, which is 50%. And that it could do that within a month, 50% in a month, and I would not even be shocked. I mean, you have projects that are doing nothing that are making 50% in a month. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live stream here. I'm gonna go chill for the rest of the night. It's 9:45 over where I am. So if you guys have any questions, I'll stick around for just a moment. But I am going to go ahead and wrap this up. It's been about an hour and 15 minutes. I have to get tomorrow's video scheduled to upload around 1 o'clock. And that is the gist of it. So once again, guys, thank you guys all for watching. I'd like to thank Laszlo for the $5 donation tonight. It's always appreciated, but never required. If you guys want links to anything, there are a ton of links in the description below. And that will be it. Awesome, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and head out. If you guys need me, shoot me an email or send me a message over Discord. There's a link to that in the description down below as well. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video about me talking